Hi guys and welcome back to Order Tanks, and today I've got two replays for you in two very similar tanks, but one is so much better than the other. So, this first replay we've got the Lansen C. The second replay we've got the Draugen Lansen C. Now the difference between the two tanks isn't just the name. They are not the same tank by any stretch of the imagination. So by now, I imagine everybody knows how good the Draugen is. Okay, the Draugen is amazing. It's absolutely unbelievable. The Lansen C, however, is not all that good. I don't feel, my personal opinion. And I'll go through the reasons why. So first of all, this tank is quite derpy. The gun handling does not feel good. It's the type of gun handling that you reload for quite a while. You sit there, you aim for a bit as well, and you generally miss anyway. So, this tank has 2.5 second aim time. And I'll do a little comparison. So it's got 2.5 second aim time. The Draugen has 2.3 second aim time. This has 0.38 accuracy. On the Draugen, it's 0.36. So already, the gun handling is better. Shots like that on the Conqueror that I just had there are very, very common. Not so common with the Draugen. The Draugen tends to hit. The penetration is 208 on the AP, 240, I think it's 246 or 242 actually, I think it's 242. And on the Draugen, its standard rounds have got 236 penetration. So literally, the difference is 6 penetration between the standard round on the Draugen and the premium round on the Lansen C. And obviously on the Draugen, it's also got something that is amazing and makes the tank ridiculous. And that is the Hesh. 210 pen Hesh. Just makes it unbelievable. The reload is, I think it's about 1.9 second difference, because I think this reloads in 9.09 and the Draugen reloads in 9.91. So it's actually, it's a 1.8 second difference in reload. And if you're using the gun, obviously using this one, you've got 320 alpha. But for that 1.8 second difference, you get 390 on the Draugen. And that's really good. But then you add into the fact that you can lower your pen to 210, which, by the way, is better than the standard rounds on this tank. You can get 480 damage on your shells. And that just makes it ridiculous. That makes it so good. Those Hesh shells are amazing. And this tank is made obsolete by the Draugen. The only real good thing about this tank compared to the Draugen is the fact it's got dual crew training. And that's one thing, if you didn't know, this is a dual crew trainer between the British and the Swedish. So like, I think I've got a snakebite crew in this at the minute. And that is fantastic. So that means obviously you can train up 2 sets of crews, which is really good. And the mobility is pretty much the same as well between the two tanks. I think this one turns basically. This one turns on its inner circle faster than the Draugen, but that's only by like 4 degrees a second, and it's not much to cry, to sing home about. So yeah, this tank's just obsolete. I mean, when it came across from PC, they nerfed it. And if they'd nerfed it or changed it, okay, I get that some people say, it's never been on console, so it's not really a nerf. I get that, okay. They changed it from PC stats, and they took 1.1 rounds a minute off the rate of fire. They changed nothing else, they just took the rate of fire away. And that's killed it, for me. If they'd released it like that before they released the Draugen, possibly, okay. Maybe, if it was just this iteration of the tank and the Draugen was a skinned version of this tank. but it's not that way. They released this after the Draugen, and this tank is just so underwhelming because of the Draugen. And generally, this tank, I think, is actually one of the worst DPM mediums as well at tier 8. One of them. There's a couple that are quite bad, but this is one of them. And it just makes it sad. Like, I know that wasn't fully aimed on the Conway, but shots like that miss all the time. All the time in this tank. But that's just the frustration. So we're trying to take on the C50M now, and what we've basically been doing this entire game is doing what you'd normally do on what I normally do on Prok, which is battle this ridgeline. As you can see, we're trying to take out this pesky 50M. He's got 185mm of frontal armour on his turret. We can pen it with AP, but we've loaded the Prem to make sure. We end up overexposing anyway and getting a shot on his side and shut him down. So that's 2 kills against tier 10 tanks now. So that's quite nice. So we've got Levish Lilo so far. The other thing about this replay is the fact that I've done quite well in this game, but I fired pretty much no premium up until this point now that we're seeing. And we are never going to pen this 705A with the standard rounds unless we get round his back. But what I'm going to try and do is pop a shot at his back. And of course we aim for the wrong spot. We end up hitting the gap between his turret and his hull, which just means we bounce, ricochet. But we get a nice shot into his tracks, track him in place. And we know we can take the hit from him. So we're just going to pop a shot in, shut him down. And then the TVP gets shut down by the 705A. So just like that, in a very tier 10 game, we've got 3.5k damage, 2.5k assistance, ace tanker, an OS skins medal, which is for killing 3 tanks 2 tiers higher. And it was a good game for the Lansen C. But it's, again, 2k base damage. It's, again, like, if I was in a Draugen, I probably would have done a lot more. I'd have hit quite a few more of the shots that I took. There was a lot of points I could have used Hesh and done a lot more damage, like on the FV4005, for example. Yeah, I don't know, the Lansen C is just underwhelming compared to the Draugen. It sits there and it's just a thing. I personally would like them to buff the reload on the Lansen C, and then it wouldn't feel underwhelming. It'd feel probably on par with most other medium tanks of the tier. The pen is probably, well, the pen is about right for the tier anyway, so that doesn't matter. It's just in comparison to the Draugen, which is it's random. Like, they released this tank like this and then released the Lansen C in the way it is. If they were going to do it, they should just release the Lansen C unskinned with this gun. But yeah, so we're on Prok again. 2 games, 2 tanks very similar, 2 games on the same map. But this time we're on the opposite side of the ridge, and this is a tier 9 game, not a tier 10 game. But we're going to show why the Lansen C is so much better than the Draugen. The Draugen, sorry, the other way around. Why the Draugen is so much better than the Lansen C. Because it just is. It's just so much better. This gun is amazing. This platform is amazing for this gun. It's fantastic. So in this game, we are now going to make the bold, aggressive play. And we'd usually wait a bit long, especially on this new variant of Prok, where it's harder to see what is down the back. We are going to make the bold, aggressive play of pushing into this bowl. We pop a shot at the T54 lightweight, which is nice, it goes in. And we are going to have a lot of that in this game. We're going to be trying to take out these pesky light tanks. Because as usual, the team that has the best light tanks wins. Now that batch at 12T saves the T54 lightweight there. He just goes, "Get down, Mr. President!" And he saves him from taking a shot. And unluckily for him, takes the hit from me. Now we get a nice tracking shot on that E50, so we get 300 damage. Onto the pen, obviously, but it's the way it is. And we're just going to keep working this ridgeline. We've tried to shoot the LTG, unfortunately missed. And we just want to get rid of these light tanks, because they will become a nuisance. Because they will keep spotting all my guys at the back, And while ours, we've got one dead so far, Swindle's in the other, we just want to keep popping shots. And we pop another one into that T-54 lightweight. Now I remember saying at the time, that shell, this is why I'm looking at the map, that shell that whiffed me was very slow. Very, very slow. I remember saying at the time, I think that's the ISU. The ISU I think is sat at A3. Because the shell velocity was so slow. Because obviously the ISU is a big, derpy gun. It hits hard. But it's not got the greatest of accuracy, and it's not got the greatest of shell velocity. That's why it's troll cannon. So I'm guessing it's back there. So it makes me a bit more wary about poking up when I'm spotted. But again, we get lucky with not getting shot by that E75. And my want of getting rid of these light tanks takes them over. Pop another shot into the T-54 lightweight, 402. Get a bit of damage off on him there. And he's now a one shot. We're going to see... We're just going to keep basically poking this bowl. We're going to keep poking the ridge on the bowl, see if we can spot. Our team has now moved up to just behind us, which is good. And then we spot the LTG. Goodbye, LTG. Never turn down the chance to shut down the light tank on Prok. There's an Iron Rain back there as well. He takes down the Tiger 2, and that him killing the Tiger 2 tells us that he's back there. We pop a shot blind to see if we can hit him, and then we switch to Hesh. Now, we're switching to Hesh because we know that if there's an Iron Rain back there, or this Conqueror side of his turret like he keeps giving us, we can pen it and get a good roll off. But fortunately for us, as we pop over, the Conqueror is on his way. He's marching. He's like, I'm off. I'm not having this position anymore. I've given up. And we did 500 and something damage to him. Then we get this ISU. Again, it's always nice to guess where something is and be right. And we pop a good shot of Hesh into him. Now this is where the Hesh is amazing. Lower plate of a Black Prince, 539. Easy peasy. And it's just Hesh-tastic. I love it. I just love this gun for that Hesh. It's fantastic. Lower plate of the Conqueror. Wouldn't have been able to shut him down with APCR in Lansen C. But with Hesh on this, we shut him down. High roll, obviously, because it's 480, but you take that roll every day. We're hoping to take this Iron Rain, and we do. This pesky light tank is still there. But we're being a bit more wary, because we know that the E75 and the Conqueror are still over there, which will hurt us. We're going to see if we can get a shot at the side of the turret of the E75. Unfortunately, I'm not sure where the shot goes. It derps somewhere. It shows that this gun isn't always accurate. I mean, .36 isn't obviously the best accuracy going. I mean, you see in this game, this is probably a good RNG game, because you will miss quite a lot of shots. Because I'd say .35 is a threshold. Once you're going above 3.5, you get into the realms of not actually that accurate. So this gun at 3.6 is going above that. And it's getting to the point where it's like, it's quite inaccurate. But we're seeing this 257, and look at the RNG, straight into the lower plate. The only place we could have consistently penned that guy, and it went in. We're now going to see if we can get the side of this turret, but we decide we've got to move in. We switch to Hesh, because we know we can't kill the Conqueror with standard, but if we get a good roll with the Hesh, we will pen and kill this Conqueror. So we know we can take a hit, so we pop over, shut down the Conqueror with the Hesh. We get the roll we need, we take the hit from the E75. We reload the APCR because we're not going to chance Hesh not penning on the E75. Get round him, no low rolls, thank you very much, shut him down. 6k damage, 6 kills. And now there's just the Arty, this pesky light tank, and the Sergeant Slaughter. So we're going to go to this middle bit and see if we can get a shot at the T-54 lightweight. Also, I'm considering that the Sergeant Slaughter might be on the hill, which is why I slow up here. We're going to see if we can get a shot, but we can't. There's too many buildings in the way. And every time that I kept poking up at this point, I get detected. And now that T-54 lightweight is dead. Thank you very much, Skoda, by the way. That was a good ram. Every time we poked, we got detected, which made me think maybe that Sergeant Slaughter's on the hill. But when we go unspotted, we think, let's push the hill, see if we can see him. But actually, he's there. So we're going to see if we can get a shot at him. We do snap it, we don't fully aim it, we hide behind the building to stay away from it while I reload, and we get the Hesh in. Because the Sergeant Slaughter, while it's got some decent armour, we know we can pen the upper plate shooting down, and we can pen the lower plate. And look at that, 5-3-4, straight through. And we now know that we can kill him with the Hesh, with a splash. So it's like, please everybody, please let me kill him, please let me kill him. Yes, 7 kills, there we go. 6.5k damage, 2.2k assists, and 7 kills. And that game was just why it showed everything why this tank is so much better than the Lansen C. Similar, you know, same map, similar position. Sure, the matchmaking was better, but even if we had that other matchmaking in this tank, we'd have done this different. You know, we'd have done more, I think. 2.8k base, 28 shots fired, 20 hits, 18 pens, 7 kills, 6.5k damage. What a tank this is. It's honestly amazing. That's why you see lots of replays from lots of different people in it, why everyone raves about it. And when it comes on discount, you should definitely pick it up if you haven't. They just need to give the Lansen C a little bit of love, like buffing its rate of fire, so it has just something to compete with other mediums. But that's the way it is. So, as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.